Hello, and I'd like to welcome you all once again to the old schoolhouse here in the hamlet of Butterstone in Perthshire in Scotland for another one of our wee Saturday night half hours. And could you please welcome to the stage the wonderful Tatty Faces, who will be accompanying me tonight with their usual virtuosity. And I thought I would start with this wee song because the forecast's pretty grim for the next wee while, and I'm hearing all kinds of stories about storms. And so I'm going to try this just to get things going. And I hope it's got a funny fiddly wee guitar bit at the beginning of it, this song. And after all my tractor restoration and wielding of the big hammers, I hope I can get my fingers to work. We'll try to see if we go on. Working. All right. Oh, the waves crashing and the tide pulls out. It's an angry sea, but there is no doubt that the lighthouse will keep shining out to warn the lonely sailor. And the lightning strikes and the wind cuts cold through the sailor's bones to the sailor's soul, till there's nothing left that he can hold except a rolling ocean. Oh, but I am ready for the storm. Yes, already I am ready for the storm. Ready for the storm. And oh, give me mercy for my dreams, 'cause every confrontation seems to tell me what it really means to be this lonely sailor. And when you take me by your side, you love me warm, you love me, and I should have realized I had no reasons to be frightened. Oh, and I am ready for the storm. Yes, already I am ready for the storm. I am ready for the storm. Oh, and distance, it is no real friend, and time will take its time, but you will find that in the end it brings you me, the lonely sailor. And when the sky begins to clear and the sun it melts away my fear, I'll cry a silent weary tear for those that need to love me. Oh, and I am ready for the storm. Yes, already I am ready for the storm. Yes, already I am ready for the storm. I'm ready for the storm. Thank you very much, and that's my wee song, Ready for the Storm, which is probably a very fitting starter for this Saturday night, thinking about the weather that's coming this next week. We're going to get snow. We've all been lulled into this false sense of security. It's been beautiful, the weather here, and then they tell us we're going to get snow. Anyway, those of you who are kind of been watching my... will know that I've been restoring my old Ferguson tractor. Now, I have a Ferguson tractor, and it's from 1947. And I actually took it on the stage at the Royal Concert Hall in Glasgow for part of a show I was doing. And this song I'm going to sing came from that show. But it's a brilliant thing, and it's not just a tractor that's brilliant, but it's not a Massey Ferguson, it's a Ferguson. And Harry Ferguson was this wonderful... engineer from Belfast, and all the other amazing engineers that he had around him. And they invented this thing called the 3-point linkage. So I'm going to bore you for 5 minutes with this, which is on every tractor that exists today. And what used to happen with old tractors was that they would drag the plough along behind them, and if the plough hit a stone, the whole tractor would rear up, and there was hundreds of people getting killed. So Ferguson had this hydraulic arms that when it hit a stone, it would lift itself over the stone and then continue on. It was brilliant. And to cut a long story short, he went to America to Henry Ford and did a deal with him, showed him his invention, and Henry Ford made a tractor. I think it was called a Ford 9N, I think. Anyway, and it sold hundreds of them, but when old Henry Ford died, the young Ford and Harry Ferguson fell out. So Harry Ferguson came back to the UK and started building his tractor, a Ferguson, down in Coventry. And these are the ones that you see everywhere. They're the ones that went right all over the world. They outsold the Ford ones in their millions. But I love the whole story behind Harry Ferguson, because he believed that these little tractors would change the world and stop wars and bring an end to hunger. Because there was a story that he would tell that if you had a horse and you were ploughing a field, you needed 7 acres just to feed the horse. You needed 7 acres just to grow the food to feed the horse. But if you bought one of his wee tractors, you could put that 7 acres under, you could put it into crops. And he reckoned that hunger and land was the biggest reason for wars. And so there was a lovely kind of ideological kind of thing going on with Harry Ferguson in this song. So I wrote this wee song. So we'll try it. See. People thought I was mad when I would write a song about a tractor, but it's... we'll try it. See. It's not a song I sing very often, but I'll still try and see how we go on. There's no need to be hungry, he said, in this fair and fertile land. Struggle have led us instead to a place where we understand, and it'll end the toil. I know it can. It'll feed the needs of us all. Global Choir could sing that chorus, actually. I'll do the chorus again for you global choirers out there, and then we'll get a wee Ferguson chorus going on here. And it'll end the toil, I know it can. It'll feed the needs of us all. Our Ferguson. Nothing surer than change, he said, but it's always at our door. us all, our Ferguson. Tight fits. So listen how the engine sings in a new and brighter light, and in the end, oh, a peace it will bring, and end this pointless fight, and it'll end the toil. I know it can. It'll feed the needs of us all, our Ferguson. Want to try it on your own global choir? Be brave. It's a wee bit wordy, but be brave. And it'll end the toil. I know it can. It'll feed the needs of us all. Fantastic. I think that's absolutely that's so fantastic. We're going to do it again. And now we've got people I noticed from Australia and New Zealand and that all watching tonight. And these little tractors are all over Australia and all over New Zealand. And I've travelled and seen them there. Come on. It'll end There's no need to be hungry, he said, in this fair and fertile land. The years of struggle have left us instead to a place where we understand. I know it can. It'll feed the needs of us all, our Ferguson. Thank you very much, and that's my wee song as a wee tribute to Harry Ferguson's wonderful wee tractors. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to grab out the guitar. I'm going to tell you another tractor story just before I get on with the next song. And like I said, I've been restoring the little one through there, and I had a couple of big issues. And one of the big issues was that the starter motor wasn't working, and I couldn't find one to buy anywhere. You can't get them for a 1947 Ferguson tractor. There's no such thing as a replacement. Well, you can get them, but they're just not around. So, but I was making a phone call, and I was talking to this old guy, and he says, "Oh," he says, "you're going to have to strip it down." He said, "You're going to have to strip it down." And he was lovely, and he gave me all the instructions on how to strip it down. So my friend Danny, who's a great engineer, he came around and we stripped this down. And he says, "Call me back when you've got it stripped down, because there's a part here and it'll be broken." So we got it all stripped down, and sure enough, we got to the part that he talked about, and it was broken. And so I got back on the phone to him, and I says, "Yes, you're right. I says, "What can you do about that? Is it possible to get a part?" He says, "Well, he says, no," he says, "but you're talking to the right man," he says, "because I happen to have some of that part, he says, because I actually make them. He says, you get them made. He says, I'm the only person in the UK that you'll get that part from. So it was lovely. They set the part up, and Danny and I spent a couple of hours fitting this part. I brought the part to let you see it. That's all it was. It's just that little bit of part there. Because up until then, I'd been starting the tractor with, where is it now? There. With this, which is a starting handle. And this is a lethal piece of equipment, trying to start a tractor with the handle, and you turned it to, you know, and a lot of you will remember these. I had one of these in my first car as well, but they're lethal. So, but getting the starter motor was brilliant. And so I'm going to phone the guy up and thank him, because I just love that when somebody gives of their time and their knowledge, and they just quite happily just share their information with you, and it solves a big problem. And now I won't be putting my back out every time I try to start that tractor. So anyway, well, I'll let you all see it when I get finished. So this song, I've got to do something here. I'm kind of a really bit disappointed about the state of the leadership of the planet at the moment, and it's beautiful spring here, and I was just looking at the majesty and the magic of nature as it just sort of comes out, you know, and we were looking at trees and things like that, just you know, how wonderful the balance of it all is. And then we've got these leaders that just they seem to be pretty useless, I would say, in general, you know what I mean? So I wrote this song a number of years ago when I was really kind of disillusioned by the whole thing. And you can sing the chorus of this as well. They come from a dark place where the sun can never shine. They look with a hard face, so chilled and serpentine. They watch from the skyline for your confidence to thin. Paint away all the dangers they hope you'll stumble in. But out here, no, they don't mean anything. Out here, they're disgraceful. Way out here, no, they don't mean anything. Out here, they're disgraceful. That's the chorus. And out here meaning way out in nature, you know. Go. Way out here, no, they don't mean anything. Out here, they're disgraceful. Way out here, no, they don't mean anything. Out here, they're disgraceful. Words that confuse you and spin your head around. Actions that abuse you and spin you to the ground. Degraded values that no one wants to know. Oh, the price is endless, but they will not let it show. But out here, no, they don't mean anything. Out here, they're disgraceful. Way out here, no, they don't mean anything. Out here, they're disgraceful. Out here, where creation roars. Out here where the curlew sings. The buzzard cries and the eagle soars. Holding the weight of the fools we have been, the fools we have been. dark place where the sun can never shine. They look with a hard face, so chilled and serpentine. They watch from the skyline for your confidence to thin. They paint away all dangers, they hope you'll stumble in. But out here, no, they don't mean anything. Out here, they're disgraceful. Way out here, no, they don't mean anything. Out here, they're disgraceful. Sing it on your own, go on, try it. Global choir. Way out here, no, you don't. Beautiful. Go on, and again. Few harmonies, and if you get even louder. Way out here, no, they don't mean anything. Out here, they're disgraceful. They don't mean anything. Thank you very much. I'd forgotten how to stop it there. I was having a bit of a senior moment there. Just anyway, we managed to jump off the roundabout. Anyway, that's my wee song about the wonder of nature compared to. Anyway, I'm going to finish now. Well, I'm going to change guitars with this wee song, which I've never done. I think I might have done it once before, and I wrote this about my great grandfather, who was a lead miner up in Tyndrum, which is just up. I don't know if any of you, if you drive up past up to Tyndrum, just opposite the Green Welly shop, which is a horrible touristy kind of place. But there's a wee village called Clifton, which is a wee mining village, and up on the hills you can see the remains of the lead mine. And my great grandfather worked there, and but he died at the age of 47. He's buried in the local churchyard, probably of lead poisoning, and they must have been they must have been crofters or workers, because there's no real history of mining up in that part of the country until so they must have given up their crofts, given up their working on their land to go and work in the mine. So I wrote this song. It's very sad. It's a very sad story, and I was looking at the census. I'm going to have a wee mouthful, but it's got a tickle in my throat. Thank you, Nigel. I've got it's a very sad story, and I looked up the census, and I noticed that once after he had died, he had two sons. One was 13, I think, and one was 12, and they both worked on the lead mine. And that's how my great-great-granny got to stay in the little mining house, because the boys were out working in the mine as well. So I kind of wrote this wee song, and I had this kind of, originally I wrote it from him talking to my great-great-granny, and she was called Sarah. Well, I thought she was called Sarah, but she wasn't. I made a mistake. It was his daughter was called Sarah. who was my great granny. And but I quite liked, in the end, I quite liked the idea that the father would be talking to the daughter about it all. So that gives you a wee rough idea of what the story's about. Okay, so we'll try it here. In the shadows of the mountain, by a clear and crystal stream, on the rocky slopes of Clifton, we are digging for a dream. We have left the land forever, traded fields for lumps of stone, and as we wander weary home, we confront a great unknown. Oh, Sarah, please tell me that I didn't waste my time. Oh, Sarah, please tell me that I didn't waste my time. For the harvest of a treasure hidden deep beneath the ground, we work the seam together, where our silent fears are found, and the dust will choke the hunger, and the darkness ease the pain, and as we wander home again, all that's empty will remain. Oh, Sarah, please tell me that I didn't waste my time. Oh, Sarah, please tell me that I didn't waste my time. And in the dark of desperation, in the depths of our despair, we search inside the mountain for a truth that is not there. And the toil will break our bodies, and the poison steal our years, and as we wander weary home, there's nothing left inside the tears. Oh, Sarah, please tell me that I didn't waste my time. Oh, Sarah, please tell me that I didn't waste my time. Sing it with me, go on. Oh, Sarah, And so that's, thank you very, very much. That's my wee new song about, well, it's not a new song, but it's newish, and I just finished it recently, and about my great-great-grandfather. And that brings us to the end, to the end of our wee half an hour. Oh, God, now I've got requests. I forgot all about my requests. So I'm going to read them out quickly before we finish the show. And Ready for the Storm was requested for Janet Berger in Tennessee, listening on the phone because she's got no electricity. Hi, Janet. Well, I hope you get your electric back soon. Rachel Chana in Louisville, Kentucky. Al and Kathy in Alabama. And for Janet Heather Fletcher Gallant in Michigan. Heavy snow and howling winds. Yeah, all of them all had really, yeah, well, that's what we're going to get in this next week, I know. It's coming all the way across the Atlantic from America. And my song Ferguson was for John and Jane Sibley from Halifax in Virginia, so they must have heard me sing it somewhere. And Disgraceful for Clive Hurley in Dunedin, New Zealand. And my last wee song, because I've done it once before in one of these broadcasts, I think. Somebody must have remembered it. It's for Natalie Rochelle from Toulouse in France. So we've got an amazing selection of people from all over the world again joining us, and the global choir sounded brilliant. The vibe was just great, you know. And so that brings us to the end, and I'm back out at the tractor tomorrow, but I will let you see it when it's finished. It's quite exciting now that I can start it without the starter motor. It's thrilling. And so thanks to the Tatty Faces, thanks to Jen. It was just me and Jenny in here tonight. Jenny's up the back pressing the buttons. She's got a bad cold happening, so... And then if anybody's in Dunkeld, you can go and see Jenny's wonderful exhibition of her paintings. It's now available. It's in the Institute in Dunkeld. She's got... in the Burnham Arts Institute in Dunkeld, and she's got a wonderful exhibition of her paintings down there. So if you're passing through Dunkeld, pop in and see, have a wee look. Hope you're all taking care of each other, looking after each other, and staying cheery and smiling like a tatty face. And I certainly am staying cheery and looking forward to the summer. I love this time of year. I love when the spring just sort of happens and everything's just sort of kind of bursting out, you know. And it's amazing. So, see you next weekend. Night, Eichava, and take care.